Let's see how they line up. In round one, race one of the 1996 Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, there is the hot lap specialist John Bow on pole, 101.33, with Peter Brock alongside him, a Ford Holden front row. Row two, Glenn Seaton, the new Ford Credit Falcon, with Craig Lowndes, car 15, alongside him.
Row number 3 consists of Tony Longhurst and Wayne Gardner in the Coca-Cola Commodore. Row 4, Alan Jones and Neil Crompton.
Out of row 5 is Dick Johnson in the Shell Falcon with Mark Scaife alongside him in the Gibson Motorsport Commodore. Row 6, Russell Ingall in the Castrol Commodore with teammate Larry Perkins alongside him.
Row number 7, newcomer Stephen Richards in the Valvoline entry, and the top privateer, car number 3, Steve Reed. Row 8 is Stephen Ellery and Paul Romano.
Row 9 is the Sony Commodore of Terry Finnegan with Greg Crick in the Alcare example alongside him. David Parsons in the Freightliner Holden and Mark Larkham in the Mitre 10 Ford.
Row number 11, the Price and Act Commodore of Kevin Heffernan with Wayne Russell. Row 12, Bob Pearson and John Cotter.
Plenty of V8s here. Row 13, the back row, John Trimble in the Ostjet Aircraft Charter Falcon with Gary Wilmington in the Wilmington Performance Ford. Well, the heat is on at Eastern Creek Raceway, and it's about to get an awful lot hotter when they unleash the V8 in just a few moments' time. Meanwhile, here's the Eastern Creek logo flying in on the giant flag up in the skies on this beautiful hot day in Sydney. Touchdown almost due for the flag, and we're almost due for blast-off in Heat 1. 5 seconds now to the start of Heat 1. There's going to be a critical run into turn 1 here at Eastern Creek this afternoon. Revs rise. John Bow and Peter Brock on the front row of the grid. Away they go. Brock gets a sensational start. The grandstander on their feet. Brock gets a real run down the outside. A huge pack of V8 swinging into turn 1, and it's Brock in control. And they head down towards turn 2, leaning on each other. Massive number of V8s here up towards turn 2, dust flying everywhere. It's Brock in command with the Coca-Cola Commodore in second. Bow got shoved back to third there. Craig Lowndes is Brocky's teammate, 5th or 6th as they shuffle through turn 2 and head up towards the flashback. One of the Castrol Commodores in Packer was Larry Perkins, the Tui 1000 winner. And we've got a moment further back in the pack. Peter Brock leads. A fantastic start to Wayne Gardner as the Finnegan Sony audio sound car makes its way back onto the track. So Peter Brock, tremendous start from the outside. They often say pole position at Eastern Creek is on that outside where the racing rubber's laid down. Brock certainly took advantage of it in 05. But he's got the Coke Commodore. Wayne Gardner right up behind him. A great start from the former world motorcycle champion. John Bow back in third position. There's Crompton in fourth. Another great start from the Coke car with Lowndes right up behind him. Very close, very torrid action here, Bradley Jones.
It is. There's plenty happening. I was talking to Brock earlier on today. He's very determined to win the race. He's going all out. He's got Gardner right on him. This will turn into be a tire war of sorts, and the Dunlop's a performer very early on. It'll be interesting to see how the race goes on.
Certainly will, knowing the performances of Bridgestones over the years. Of course, Brock running Bridgestone tyres, they take a while to come in, but boy, aren't they durable, particularly in hot weather conditions.
They are. They're 3 laps you usually have to do before you can get the speed out of them, where the Dunlop is there right from the start. It's interesting, even though these cars look the same, underneath they're just so different you couldn't believe.
And they come through the switchback there, wheel up in the air as Brock crests the rise, the car gets all light, bounces off the curve there, building up to about 190 kilometres an hour as they swing into turn 5, or the new turn 5 on this shortened circuit. Gardner in second position, really pasting the back bumper of the mobile car. He's right on top of it. It'll be interesting to see if he can last in this first 20-lap heat.
Peter Brock won't want to leave it too long before the Bridgestone set in, because Gardner from position number 6 is up to 2 and is looking for a way past as they head down the main straightaway. Once again, the crowd going berserk. The favourite is out in front. Glenn Seaton has dropped well back in the field to about 7th after starting in 3rd, so a disappointing start for a new sponsor in the Seaton team.
Well, he's Mr. Popularity, Peter Brock. Most successful driver in Australian Touring Car Championship history. 35 victories from 189 starts. 50 years of age, and the man is still right on the pace.
Car number 1, John Bow, has come from nowhere. He missed the start from pole position. Gardner got past, and all of a sudden, the number 1 Shell FAI Ford Falcon back in the race.
We take race cam with Peter Brock aboard Mobile 05. Man hard at work, maximum concentration here, working at the wheel. Looks like a very physical sort of track, Brad Jones.
That certainly is, and you can notice just behind him there's a little esky. I'm not sure whether that's for a cool suit. I say it would. They fill up full of ice water and actually run through tubes that just cools your body down. Larry Perkins was saying earlier it's like 55 degrees inside these cars today, so you certainly need something to keep you cool.
Okay, 3 laps down, and this 20-lap battle is still Brock in control. Gardner in second, Bow starting to close the gap to the Coca-Cola Commodore in third position. Then we've got Craig Lowndes
right up on the back end of the FAI Falcon, down towards what is being termed a flip-flop, and Gardner a little off course there, and Bow right up on the backside. He knows every scratch on the back of the Coke Commodore.
Keeping in mind these really high temperatures, Bradley, is the idea here to try and conserve your tyres, or in 20 minutes you just haven't got time to do that?
Well, you really haven't got time. These guys will be, throwing caution to the wind. The idea at the start of the race is to try and save the tyres a little bit and drive the car as straight as you can. And of course, once the light turns green, you're just, fighting for survival. So they're all pressing on as hard as they can, and they won't think about their tyres until they get it to the end of the race.
Big roar from the crowd. Brock opens it up a couple more tenths. They come across the start finish line. 4 laps down. Just put in a 1:02.25. Fair way off the qualifying pace yesterday, but very quick considering these hot conditions. There's Glenn Seaton coming right into the action. Right up behind Crompton. This is the battle for 5th and 6th.
A good battle it is at that. Seaton again searching on the inside for some racing room. We're looking out of the Glenn Seaton car. That is Neil Crompton right ahead. 7 Sport Race Cam bringing in the action as they head down towards the flip-flop. There's the leading group up ahead. Very sharp left and right. That's where it just drops away, Brad Jones.
It does. It's a very tricky part of the circuit there. I'm just watching the back of Crompton's car. Looks to be working quite nicely. I mean, I thought the Coke team probably went for a bit of a safe option on tyres today, and that's why they qualified a little further back, but they're certainly up amongst it at the moment.
And we guess with only 8 tyres to chop and change between 3 heats, these guys may be looking much stronger as the day progresses.
Well, hopefully they will.
Here comes John Bow, meanwhile, sorry Bradley, but Bow down the inside of Wayne Gardner. They're side by side, 260